Hey boys and bears, it's Dan, and I have another director that I want to talk about tonight. First I have a bonus. So, I watched that movie Deadheads the other day and I blogged about it, and there was a song called They Won't Stay Dead, like it's this punk song, right? So I was like, I have to find out who this is. So it turns out there's this band, I'm so ashamed of myself, called the 3D Invisibles. The 3D Invisibles recorded 3 albums in the 80s, and I didn't know about it, and all they record are songs about horror. So you gotta hear some of the titles. So this is it. This is the song They Won't Stay Dead from Deadheads. They got songs like Creature from Outer Space, Down in the Dungeon, Graveyard Rockin', I Married a Monster, Christopher Lee. I mean, every single song on all 3 of their albums is about horror. So that's my little bonus before I get to Joe Castro. It's the 3D Invisibles. So they're going to play in background while I'm talking. So, on to Joe Castro. Now, Joe Castro is an independent filmmaker. He's actually a special effects makeup master, and he's been working since the 90s in horror movies. And, you know, a couple of his films I couldn't find, they're out of print or they were only released in other countries, but I got most of them on DVD. So, I'm going to go through them fast. You know, Joe Castro is a gay director, so he knows how to cast his men. There's hotties in all of these movies. So we're going to start with the shot-to-video, low-budget, craptastic ones. So we have Blood Sisters. Blood Sisters is about a college campus, new girl in town, 3 mysterious sorority sisters. They have a 3-woman sorority. People are disappearing on campus. So the new girl starts to think that these mysterious sorority sisters are the ones responsible. And of course they are. They're freaking vampires, right? So it turns out it's a vampire movie. So I think this was like shot in 3D or something. Not the video's not in 3D. The DVD's not 3D. But they take hot guys home, they take off their shirts, and then they kill them. They suck their blood, right? And then they do the strip teases. They strip tease for the camera. It's like that kind of cheesy, low-budget B-movie. So they do their little strip teases for the camera. And then that's it. You know, that's the first cheesy one. And then the next cheesy one is Evil Unleashed, The Mummy. This is another one. College campus, these students and their professor accidentally resurrect this evil Egyptian mummy woman, right, from the past. So she comes out in her veil, like when she's gonna kill somebody. She comes out and she seduces him with her, like, you know, her dancing, right? And then all of a sudden she turns into the mummy. You actually see the mummy, but she's still doing her dance. Like, this is the mummy doing the dancing. The mummy, she runs, she chases her victims, and she fights like a ninja. Like, this is total cheeseball B-movie stuff. So this is his early stuff. So that's what that one is. This one, I think it's this one also. There's one of the guys in this is really cute, and he takes off his shirt, and he's got 2 nipple rings. And that's my symbol for nipple rings, as I squeeze my tits. So, he's cute. The cute guys, they just keep coming. And you know, that's what makes these so much fun, is that Joe knows how to cast cute, charismatic people, men and women. So, then comes Near Death. Near Death is a little more upscale from the first 2, and this one, I could see this being on Chiller Network. So it's about this house that these like half-dead people live in, and it turns into kind of like a mystery. You know, there's a group of kids that come to the house for whatever reason, and they have to figure out who these people are who are living in this house, and they're half-deads. So I like this one. This one's got some pretty creepy scenes. You know, it shows off some of Joe's special effects. So then, and this isn't the order they were shot in, but Legend of the Chupacabra. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. That's how I pronounce it. So this is straight up 70s and 80s rubber monster costume. This was like soon after Blair Witch Project. This is like one of the first found footage films that, you know, came in on the heels of Blair Witch Project. It's a trauma film. And what this does that Blair Witch doesn't is it shows you something scary. Blair Witch Project, other than that dude standing in the corner, was not scary. So you get to see the Chupacabra, and he's so awesome. This is a great rubber monster, right? This is like Rawhead Rex kind of stuff. And like, he just, you know, you think there's going to be like this build-up, and all of a sudden he just pops onto the screen, right? And there's all these jump scares with the friggin' Chupacabra popping onto screen. I love this movie. Oh, and the black dude in this one is really hot. Big, got a nice big juicy butt. So that's Chupacabra, Legend of Chupacabra. Then we get into Joe's more serious, hardcore stuff. So Jackhammer Massacre. Now this is like 2 different movies in one. It starts out about this guy's drug habit, and he spirals out of control, and he's, you know, spinning into a hellhole of drug abuse. And it's kind of like, if you like Requiem for a Dream, you can handle this stuff. I can't handle the drug movie stuff. So, and like, then to bring in the horror, like, there's all this deformities when he shoots up and stuff. But then all of a sudden, he ends up, you know, hanging out in this old building, right? It's where he works. And the building's being sold, so they have an excuse to bring people in, right? There's people, like, moving and taking, you know, inventory and shit. And the movie's mostly guys. There's one chick, right? There's 3 chicks. There's 2 lesbians, and then there's this one other chick. But it's all guys, and they're all really hot, and they all take their shirts off. See, Joe's a gay director, so he gives us the man meat. So they all have a reason to take off their shirt, and once they take off their shirt, they get jackhammered. Unfortunately, it's a real jackhammer. So, and it's super gory. This is fun. I like this one. I like the second half, because that's my thing. It's like a really gory slasher. Then these are probably Joe's masterpieces. This is the Terror Toons series. He's got a 3rd one coming up. Terror Toons is like comic satire slasher comedy. It's these kids, they get together, they'll get a copy of Terror Toons. They pop it into the DVD player, and when they watch it, the freaking cartoon characters from the TV, they come out into real life and they kill you. So it's total over-the-top campiness, big goofy costumes on the killers, right? The first movie is a doctor and a monkey, right? So, and the kids, the girls and guys hanging out, the guys want to play strip poker, and the girls want to use a Ouija board. So what do instead? They play strip Ouija. So this is the kind of fun that I mean, this is a good series. That's why it's a franchise. I mean, it's... You know, if you can handle B-movies, this is a good take on slashers. And then Terror Toons 2, what I love about this one is that it's about, this time around, there's like a little girl having a birthday party, but there's all these hot guys at her birthday party. And then once the cartoon characters come out, they have a reason to get shirtless. So, Brink Stevens has a little part in this one, but the guys are a really great cast. In my blog that I wrote about all the Joe Castro's movies, I talk about the cast of guys, because they're all like from other horror movies. Like, if you like B-movies, you'll recognize some of them. So, I love the Terror Toons movies. These are fun. I can't wait for the 3rd one. Finally, we have Summer of Massacre. Now, Summer of Massacre is way over-the-top CGI madness. If you can handle it, because it's like kind of intentionally done. It's like there's something very graphic novel about the way the film is done. Like, you know, like somebody will be standing there and then they'll freeze frame them. And then this like guy will take a remote control and just smash it into their mouths. But it's like total CGI like overlapping. So that's the first story, because it's an anthology for different movies, and Joe gets the hottest guys, and they all get like naked, completely naked, like they show the front stuff, right? So the first one is like this raucous music. This guy gets beaten up in a park, and then he becomes this murderous psycho, and it's just him going and just mutilating people, but total CGI nastiness. So it's over the top. I mean, you can't even take it seriously. That, you know, that's how crazy it is. So that's the first story. The second story, again, Brink Stevens. She's a mother. She's got this daughter who's in a wheelchair, right? But the daughter is played by a guy, and it's like not even a drag queen. It's like a guy just dressed like a woman. Like, I can't, you know the difference. You know what I'm saying? So he's the, you know, she, the daughter, the other siblings hate her. So the siblings decide they're gonna knock off this bitch, right? So of course things don't go as planned, because the bitch won't die. So that's the second story, and the stories just keep getting better in this one. The third story, this is like one of my favorites. It stars Jerry G. Angelo, who was in the short gay horror film, freaking scary gay horror film Night Shadows by J.T. Seaton. You gotta watch that. It's online. I think it's on IMDb. I posted it a while ago. But he stars in this, and he basically, he finds out that his father was the freaking boogeyman. This is one of the creepiest, gnarliest boogeyman I've ever seen in my life. Like, he walks around and, like, he sings, like, children's tunes, like, an evil voice. Love it. Love that story. Oh, and Sean Abley, the director, gay horror director also, he has a cameo in this, and he's hanging out with a drag queen in that story. And speaking of all this gay stuff, and this is Joe Castro's gayest movie. So the last story is like backwoods horror with a gay twist, because these kids, these like retreat of religious kids, they go to a camp, right? Campfire, you know, they're sitting around the campfire and they tell a story of how this gay couple was killed, gay bashed in the forest years before. So then it turns into wrong turns with like deformed creatures chasing them and everything. This is my favorite Joe movie. I mean, you know, the Terror Toons movies are awesome for you know what they are. I mean, they're just classic in that style. But the Summer of Massacre, despite being over the top, graphic novel, comic bookish, is this is my favorite. The stories are just great in this, and there's some really, really creepy elements, and the guys are hot. So that's it, guys. That's Joe. That's Joe Castro. If you have to watch any of them, I would suggest, I should suggest most of them: a Jackhammer Massacre, Summer of Massacre, and the Terror Toons movies, and there's this third one on the way. So that's it, guys. That's Joe Castro. Bye.